Now you can hear me. My mic was off. Okay, much better. Now you can hear me. My mic was off. Okay, now. There we go. Do you want to close the door? You want to keep it open? Do you prefer it open?
My watch is not charging. I don't know why.
I can check it out later.
It shows a very special icon, but I don't understand.
Okay. All right. I want to make a small adjustment for the macOS app Wonder Captions really quick. Let's see. Yes, I removed the remaining effective padding. Nice. Thanks. One more thing. I think the subtitle lane height is a tad too high. What's the current height there? I can check it myself, but I want Codex to have context and do the updates. Okay, it's 44. How about we do... It's 1/3 less would be a lot, right? Maybe we do 30. How about we change it to 30? There we go. And then let's do this and that. I've reloaded the relevant Swift rules. Processing. And then static, yeah. Let's see again. Horizontal inset. I do not mind that. Yeah, that line height looks better. Or lane height. I think that's better. What am I saying here? I see. Okay, cool. Let me make one more adjustment here. Nice, looks great. Can we also show the milliseconds in the current, what is it called? Editor view. We got the editor view. Editor video viewer. And then in here we have is playing, yeah, current time label. Can we the current time label, but smaller font perhaps than the what is this going to be for format? And then if ours is more, then do this, otherwise do that. This. Then the current. Answer in chat how you would approach it. I would like to see what it plans to do. As is in rendering milliseconds as secondary text run in small font. Okay. Sounds good. Let's see it. Keep the current time label. Replace text with a composed view, like main text, monospace digit. baseline aligned with the same Agentic so it reads as one timestamp. Okay. 2 parts. Main existing 4 milliseconds, 3 digits, 0 padded from fractional seconds. PS, I don't think we need 3 digits because 100 is 1 second. So the max we should see is 99, no? Or is it 1,000? 1,000? Am I wrong? For the current time level only. Okay, I'll implement this as centiseconds. Yeah. Whoops, centiseconds. That's what I wanted. Okay. That sounds good. Let's check it out. Let's see how it looks like. Nice. This should help me position the subtitle. Where was it? It was when we were eating burritos somewhere. Here. Now I can do that one. So it ends at 68. So then I can do 28, 68. 28, let's do 70, round up, shorter. Wait. Full is ending at 87, 26, 87. See, 6, 87, there, and then 27, 25. So earlier, maybe even 20. And this one. And the spices. What are we saying? The spices at 29. The spicy sauce is great too. This can go until 31, and this one can just go. And this one can go until 31. Let's do 30, 70, right before the cut. I guess 60. All right, 40. That looks good. Nice. So this works. Now we can save the project as well. And if I quit and I wonder if I quit and reopen, this part is going to be gone because it doesn't have any text. So if I quit now, let me restart. This looks great. I'll push it. Now let's see, where are we? Over here? Yeah, see? See, the one that had no text is gone. Okay, status optimized, showing centi seconds in player. Avery, hey, good to see you back. It was only 30 minutes after all. Yeah, that was quick. We were actually not rushing it even. I was finished and I was even waiting for Wendy to finish her lunch. And then I brushed my teeth. And then I came back. So, and it was still quick. Showing centiseconds. Hey, what is your RPG idea? You know, your game idea. Do you have one? Because you wanted to build an RPG. Let's see here. Okay. Showing centiseconds in player and removing subtitle lane padding. Push that. Let me let AI know about it. What did you eat? She made Chinese noodles with ground beef, some onions and mushrooms. It was kind of like soupy. Really good. It was really good. I'm really full. Very yum. With some garlic as well. Okay. You know, now we could plan the feature of drag and dropping. Not drag and dropping, but like drag to extend. Oh wait, I want to implement the feature about zooming as well. Zooming must come first, so we have greater control, I think. It's complicated. It's based on a novella I wrote called Blood Reaper. It's like dystopian and analog horror. That sounds interesting though. I'm intrigued. You wrote a novella and you want to build an RPG for it. Do you plan on sharing like game dev vlogs kind of thing on YouTube? It's always a question of whether you are this kind of person, but I always feel like game devlogs are best suited to publish on YouTube because it's free marketing as well for your games, you know, same as streaming. Whereas streaming, I think, has less results. You know, you don't have that many eyes on it, but YouTube videos, you do. I don't know, maybe I'm doing it for fun, but you never know. Yeah. Do you think you're gonna finish it? Do you think you're gonna just do it for fun and maybe not finish it? Or, I mean, there's no pressure, right? But I wonder if you are feeling like, oh, I actually want this game out. Let me see. Let me plan this feature out. Awesome. Next, I would like to plan a bigger feature. And for that, create a feature markdown file, period. The feature is the following, period. Allow an increased zoom, comma, instead of 12x, allow 16x, period. In addition to that, I would like to have different amount of thumbnails in the video timeline based on the zoom factor, period. At 1x, I would like to have 10 thumbnails. At 4x, I would like to have 15. At 8x, I would like to have 20. At 12x, I would like to have 25. And at 16x, I would like to have 30 thumbnails. Period. Outline in great detail your suggested approach in said document. Period. Make sure you are aware of the entire code base and all Swift skills. Period. Let's go. I really want to finish, but I'm not sure if I will. And if I do, it will take a long time, as it is a side project along with education and stuff. Honestly, it kind of, what do you say? How do you say? It kind of like you saying it will take a long time sets off an alarm bell in my head, because those things should not take a long time, but not because, oh, it should be simple and maybe, I'm like, what I'm trying to say is, if you think it's taking a long time, I believe you are putting too much into your first version as a scope. For example, if I wanted to build an RPG that has, I don't know, maybe like in Pokemon, let's put Pokemon, I don't know how old you are. I don't know if you, I gotta double check because a lot of people don't know the first Pokemon. Pokemon Red first edition. You can tell me if you know the first edition of Pokemon. What I'm trying to say is, in the first Pokemon, you have a first town. And if your idea basically is the entire Pokemon game, I love Pokemon Red, of course I know it, sorry, I'm glad you know it, but if you were like 20 years old, then you might have not known it, because by the time you're 7, it's been out for 10 years and there's already Pokemon, what is it, Sapphire or even whatever older version. But what I was trying to say is, if your whole game is basically the same size of Pokemon Red, and you think, oh, it will take a long time to implement it, to release it, I think your approach is has too much scope. I think what you should do is your Blood, what was it called? Blood Reaper has different towns, for example, and you should, the first version, Blood Reaper 0.1, implements only the first town with the 2 homes, and there's maybe 2 people you can interact with, and that's already a lot of work, right? But it's very small and it's already a closed circle. So like, you can do whatever your first little quest here. You cannot go outside. When you go outside, it says, this is coming out in version 0.2. We're working on it. Go back, whatever. And then you have to like do your little quest here, and then you can get it out and people can try it and people can find bugs, and you can, it's very exciting, I think, to get it to people, and then they start playing it and giving you feedback, and you start working on the next town, or maybe the passage between this town and the next one. So you just implement the whatever alley, and then once that is unlocked, that's version 0.2, you release that for the people, and then they can do that and explore there some mystery, whatever your Blood Reaper is doing, and then you just continue from there iteratively. And in the end, version 1.0 or whatever is going to be the full game, but you don't develop from 0 to 1 in one fell swoop, working on it for 6-7 months and not feeling any accomplishment because it's not out yet, people are not using it, that's why I think you probably have an idea of how to do it, and it's maybe too big, and you should lower the scope in chunks and just get it out. And this is going to be already the majority of work, because you probably are building foundation, like how does character movement work? It's going to be implemented in this town, right? The next town doesn't need to implement character movement, so this is already going to be so much work and all this kind of stuff. So you're saying I should build the game bit by bit whilst uploading like a beta? Yes, absolutely that. The first town is going to be, as I said, already having like you building the character movement, you're building the dialogue interactions, you're building how to enter buildings and getting out of buildings. All these things you have to build once, but that's already a lot of work. And then you build your story, right? That's a lot of work for version 1, or version 0.1, sorry. But it's definitely less than building everything else as already as well. And once you have done that and you release it for people to actually play, it's going to be easier for you to add the next section, because you don't have to implement character movement anymore. You don't have to implement what happens when you enter a house, because you have that logic already in place. You already implemented the logic during that version, and you'll be faster in iterating, because and then maybe you add other stuff like, okay, maybe here you don't need inventory yet, or maybe no inventory management, but maybe here you have some kind of like Blood Reaper finds a weapon, whatever. Then you just, in the next thing, you don't have to implement character movement, you don't have to implement dialogue, but you have to implement inventory management. It's like different work, but like you add to it, right? And then in the next town, you don't have to, maybe there's a shop or whatever, or a quest with items. You don't have to implement inventory anymore. You have it already because you've done it in this part, and you iterate, and you don't have everything at once. You just have to step by step. That's how I would totally do it. And yeah, I think with that, you can definitely get something out very soon, feel very accomplished and motivated. Hey, I got it out, it's working, people can try it, they give me feedback, and then you can build upon it. That's my recommendation. Let's see here. Created a detailed feature spec. All right, let's see here. Where are we? I don't see the doc. Did you put it? Where did you put it? Oh, in docs? I see. All right, so here we got that current state audit. Found in the doc. Feel free to add code blocks with concrete implementations you intend to do. Already exists. Gap to implement. Video time and thumbnail count is currently fixed at 20. Yes. No zoom to thumbnail mapping exists today. Yeah. Important products note. Code currently already supports 16x as max zoom. If current UX appears capped at 12x, that likely comes from user perception or interaction. Oh, really? Make the thumbnail density adaptive to zoom level. Preserve smooth pin scroll interaction. Can you evaluate the document and make sure we have very good separation of concerns? That two isolated areas do not need to be entangled with one another and don't need to know of the internals of one another, but can just act upon maybe surface level accessible state of sorts? Question mark. Swift skill coverage, yes. Proposed design. Right, a helper, thumbnail count for zoom, that's great. It's abstracting stuff. Data flow, gesture. Then introduce zoom thumbnail count policy helper. Else 10. 10 is default? Yeah, okay. Feed zoom level into editor. Yeah. Cache effective. Sounds good. Limit regeneration churn while pinching. Current includes frame count changing bucket regenerates strip. With discrete buckets, regeneration happens only when crossing thresholds. This is acceptable and should be smooth enough. Optional enhancement. Phase 2 only if needed. Debounce bucket triggered frame regeneration by a short delay during active pinch. Not required for initial implementation. Why debounce? Because when we zoom in, we would have to need those. All right. Sure. Wire zoom into. How ready do you think the document is? Question mark. All my text-based RPG games have a fairly small locked down story. I just feel like the story I want to do for this one might be beyond my scope. What do you mean by beyond your scope? You think it's just too big of a story? You cannot just put it into chunks, you know, chapters, so to say, one chapter at a time? You know how the anime Demon Slayer, you know, this anime is so long, and the first season is, I don't know, it's just the first chapter of the entire story. But it's a full-on season, it's a full-on product, so to say. So even your chapter 1 could be a full-on game. And you can just make it one chapter a game. High readiness. Okay, what's missing? Add a short fallback plan if density changes cause. Okay, add explicit metric targets, for example, acceptable thumbnails, regeneration latency during pinch. Optionally define one ownership node for future extensibility where to add user configurable density later, if ever. If you want, I can add those 3 items now. Nah, it's fine. Let's go and implement the plan, my dude. I might have to do that, yes. Or maybe even multiple releases. Yeah. Totally. I do that. Honestly, just do that. I think that's exciting. Makes it much more approachable. Okay, this is working now on the code, and then we're going to rerun it. Once the pinching is, once the new zoom levels are introduced, I'm going to work on the resizing. I have to go now. It was awesome hanging out with you. I'll check out your next stream. Keep up to thanks Avery. Likewise, thanks for hanging out and thanks for chatting. Good luck with your project. Catch you soon. CDOT processing bubble. It was there for a long time. Otherwise, I would have thought it's stuck. So that's really helpful there. Such a good addition. All right. Damn, it's doing a lot of things. But now you understand what it's actually doing. And like it's really reading a lot. What changed? Okay, we changed a bunch of stuff. Let's rerun. Rerun and then test it. What changed? Open, and we did new zoom. We should have 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, this is good enough, right? It shows good chapter sections of the video. Then we zoom in at 4. We should see a new thumbnail generation soon, no? Why don't we? There we go. That was 4x. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, that's 15. Then we zoom in more. More generation. And then we zoom in even more. That's max. Is it max? And if we zoom out, this should already be cached and be really quick. Zoom in again. Zoom out. This is jumping so strangely. Between here and here. More thumbnails in wait, one? See, what is that? Oh, look at this. It's not even... Didn't even generate these. Okay. Hey, the sun. Let's see. So, I think we have some kind of bugs going on, because if I am zoomed in fully, comma, I don't see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 thumbnails, comma, the last 5 thumbnails are not generated, period. Question, comma, are we caching all generated thumbnails so that when we zoom in and out very quickly, we're just reusing what we already generated so we don't have to regenerate again? Question mark. Let's see. Okay, but zooming in 16x doesn't seem like it's enough for, what is it? For 1 second, or what is it? This one is, barely a second, but even this guy, this one is also barely a second. Where do we have 1 second? This one? Oh yeah, that's exactly 1 second. So then we have a first letter. There's some padding left and right, which I think is fine because we need to be able to grab, but maybe we don't. Maybe we don't need that padding. Maybe not that much. Maybe we can reduce that padding just by a little bit. Maybe. I'll try. Great catch. 2 answers. Yes, thumbnails are cached. We cache generated frame strips in cache key includes video URL, frame count, duration, max size. So if you zoom in and out quickly and return to a previously used zoom bucket, it should reuse cached thumbnails instead of generating. Why you may be seeing missing last 5 at full zoom? Most likely because the 30 thumbnail tier only activates of zoom equals 16. In practice, a pinch can feel maxed, but it still lands slightly below 16, for example 15.9x, yes, which keeps you under the 25 tier. So it's probably not a cache failure. It's a threshold hit issue. If you want, I can patch this so practical max zoom reliable. Do you think we need to patch it so that practical max zoom reliably snaps into 30 thumbnails tier? Or do you think we are going to implement complex and fragile logic with it? Question mark. Where is it? My codex usage. Do I have it here? I do not have it here. Is it down here somewhere? We can close out this. Close out that. No usage here, no usage there. I think I closed the window. Codex. Monitor, no. This one, maybe. Login. God damn, I cannot escape the sun. Let's see here. Let's find the page in settings. Settings. Codecs. It's gonna be here. If I go here and I say login codecs, and then I go to codec settings, and then usage, 32%. There we are. Okay. That works. All right, I do think we should patch it, and it does not need to be complex or fragile. Best low risk approach. Keep the current bucket logic. Add a small tolerance at the top bucket. For example, treat zoom as the 16th tier. Why this is safe. Single pure function change in the density helper. No gesture internals or scroll math changes. Easy to test with boundary unit tests. I would avoid pinch and snap logic first. That touches interaction flow and is more fragile. So yes. Can you think about a more cleaner fix ? I agree about not adding a snap logic, period. But perhaps whatever our current logic is about zooming is maybe not a case of good architecture, so that it doesn't report 16x ? About zooming. All right, we can implement that low risk approach still, but I want codecs to just maybe be more critical. Oh yeah. Now, this should help. Processing. In the meantime, I can just try and see from the beginning, but I should have, if you want, I can refactor. Yes, there is a cleaner fix than magic tolerance and still no snap logic. I would do this. Keep raw zoom continuous for geometry scroll math as today. Derive a separate thumbnail density tier from normalized zoom progress 0 to 1 and round to nearest tier. Map tier index to counts. Why this is cleaner. Clear separation. Continuous zoom for layout. Discrete tier for sampling policy. No dependence on hitting exact 16. No gesture hacks. No end of pinching. Okay. Easy to test deterministically. Exposes normalized zoom progress. Okay. If you want, I can refactor this model now. Please do make sure you are doing so in a very clean manner, comma, like separation of concerns, comma, pure functions, comma, following Swift skills, comma, and maintainability and readability and testability. And all the good stuff. Just do it right. This one can go. All right, this one. That one should start at 1675. Actually 80. And then end at 1844. See, so useful now that I can see the exact centiseconds. And then that one should start earlier at 60. I wonder, we could just take this one out. Save. So then our trip to Forex. Okay, this is great. I can save that. It's good progress. Codex is still working there. Impossible. 96. 39. Let's do 90. And then here 40, 13. Let's do 40, 20. This one actually says, are you? And it starts at 44. Let's just do 44. That's already an improvement. We can remove that if we have it on screen. This is 46, 32, 46. Let's do 35, and then I'm going to change. Actually 30. This is earlier. Ends at 12. Let's do 10. Wait, 47. 25. Let's end it at 20 earlier. I don't know what you're saying. Give me the chance to change. Okay, what do we have here? This is cleaner. What changed? So it's implemented it. Let me save the project. Now I can rerun, open the app again. I'm working on the app, improving the app. While Codex is working on the code, I can use the app to edit my video. And when it's done improving the code, I can save my project, then rerun the app and use the improved version of it. Okay, we were just here and we just improved zooming, hopefully. So if I zoom in, we should have new thumbnail generation. And at the very end, we should see, yeah, that. And if we zoom out, any reason why the thumbnails are flickering, question mark? Is it possible that the addition of new thumbnails container are abrupt, question mark? Is it possible to insert them with an animation of sorts, question mark? I would love, you know, when we add new containers, that it doesn't jump, but basically like smoothly expands and collapses as we are adding and removing containers. I think, yeah, that would be nicer because it's very abrupt here at times. See that? I don't like that jump. I found the likely culprit in the current code. Each zoom triggered task can completely asynchronously and override newer results, and frame swaps are currently hard cuts. I'm patching a task token. Oh, see? Something else even I was not aware of. I love the fact that I implemented project saving so I can literally save my progress in between. Okay, so yes, caching is already in place, and now still async updates are filtered out, plus visual swaps are softened. Let's see how that looks like. Let's open. If we zoom in, it might be smoother. It looks smoother. It's like there's like, it's definitely better, but it definitely looks better already, comma, question, comma, is it possible to animate the addition or subtraction of thumbnail containers without adding any complexity, question mark? Let's see what it says. We were here. I would keep it to opacity only, not scale offset to avoid layout jitter. Oi. Frame on each cell view, transition opacity. Yes, with low complexity. The simplest option, add implicit animation on the strip container keyed by frame count. Add a lightweight opacity transition on each thumbnail cell. Smooth add remove behavior. What about it? I think when we're adding containers, then the previous containers are jumping in their position, right? Because we have now in the same, almost same width, just crossed a threshold where we are introducing, say, 5 more containers, therefore shifting a lot of previous containers into a different spot abruptly, period. I was thinking that some simple animation addition could make them look like they are moving into their positions instead of abruptly jumping, if that makes sense, period. But I am not talking about a custom implementation of some kind of smooth coordinate value movement of the containers, but rather stuff like when we perhaps do an append to an array, that one is animate of sorts. Question mark, answer in chat. Hard to describe, but let's see if Codex understands. Yeah. Yeah. What is it? Yeah. Makes total sense, and you're exactly right about the clause. This is mostly a layout with change jump, not just a new cells appended. When a frame count increases, every cell gets narrower. So all existing cells reflow instantly. So animate append to array alone won't solve it well. A simply implicit layout animation will help with that without heavy complexity. Clean lightweight approach. Keep your current for each. Add animation ease out duration value frame count on the strip container. Optionally add animation ease out frame width or just rely on frame count if width is derived from it. Let's do the most simplest approach you recommend first and see how that looks like before we stack anything. What do you think? Question mark. What do you think? Simplest first step, implicit ease out animation on the strip container keyed by frame count. Okay, cool. That's exactly what I thought. Let's see, let's save the project. All right, done. Rerun. Let's see how it looks like in light mode. Not so great. We can take care of that later. But this guy also, dark mode looks best right now. Okay, so what did we say? We said about adding and removing. Oi. If I add, oh yeah, it is actually moving it now smoothly. Somewhat. I don't know if I like that. That's just so much going on. Is that container staying with this thumbnail, or is it getting a new oh, it's new thumbnails, huh? Why? 1, 2. This guy is not gonna, yeah, it's changing. I actually think to have found the true culprit. Let's say we start at 10 thumbnails. Each thumbnail has its respective frame showing the current scene of the video, period. If I zoom in and we are adding 5 more containers, suddenly the first 10 containers are getting new frames instead of keeping their original frames, causing a re-rendering of the entire strip of now 15 containers, period. Does that make sense, question mark, or would it be okay keeping the 10 previous thumbnails when moving up to 15 containers, comma, and so on when moving up further and further, etc. Question mark. Let's see what Codex says. How that look like. I wonder how that would match with the video too. Yes, that makes perfect sense, and you likely found the real cause. What's happening now? Frame times are generated from frame count bucket centers. When count changes 10 to 15, the sampling times for the original 10 indices also change. So many existing cells get different images, which looks like a full strip re-render flicker. So your idea is valid. Preserve existing thumbnails when moving up tiers. Clean approach. Define. If we do this approach of preserving existing thumbnails, comma, does that mean we have an opportunity to clean up the current rendering approach? Question mark. If so, let's take opportunities at hand to improve the code base when there is a possibility of lower complexity, period. But if not, let's not try to strip code for the sake of stripping code without that might lead into sloppier architecture. All right. Yes, this is a real opportunity to clean up, not just patch. A cleaner architecture would be use a canonical simple grid once, 30 fixed timeline positions, lower zoom tiers and render subset of these same canonical samples. Existing thumbnails never get resampled when moving 10, 15, 20, only additional owns appear. Cache by canonical sample identity, not by tier count, so zooming reuses the same frames reliably. This improves both UX and code quality. Less flicker and less entire strip change behavior, lower conceptual complexity than tier-specific resampling. Better separation of concerns. So this is worth doing, and it's not cleanup for cleanup's sake, it's structural. Let's do it. Okay, that's just UX. That's not really functionality that we're improving here. Eight, 58, 22. Let's do 20. This one is done. Could actually be 70. See, could be even shorter. 58, 50, 58, 50. And we are making breakfast. One. $1.50. Okay, let's save that. We can rerun because Codex is done coding. Let's see how it looks like. How does it look like? We are rendering all that. What is this? Oh, it's part of the... And then when we zoom in, yeah, we get new. Oh, but it's adding in between. Should not add in between. I also noticed another culprit, comma. We are not adding new thumbnail containers at the end of the strip, it seems, but in between, question mark, kind of like every second container. Exactly, you're seeing the current behavior correctly. Right now, new slots are intentionally added between existing ones, not appended at the end, because the sampling helper reveals indices by splitting the largest gaps first. That preserves temporal coverage across the whole video, so this is expected with the current design. If you want and append behavior instead, I can switch it to keep first 10 fixed. What do you think makes more sense? Question mark. More detail everywhere, not only near the end. Seeking accuracy improves across the full strip. Appending at the end is visual simpler but semantically weaker because extra detail is biased to a later time only. So I'd keep, okay, so sure. But is it like that? Because Final Cut Pro doesn't do that. Final Cut Pro doesn't do this. Look at this. It's actually, it's keeping, wait. Hey, why is it so fast in zooming? Let's do it slowly. Slowly add. Okay, it's kind of like expanding and adding. So we have a fixed height, fixed width. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's kind of like adding to it, keeping the width the same. I see. I see now. So, Alright, I just checked how Final Cut does it, and I wonder if we can do it the same way in a very clean architectural approach, period. Final Cut shows a fixed width for each thumbnail container, and as we zoom, the thumbnail container expands, revealing the next thumbnail on the right, kind of as if it was already there and we're just revealing it. At the same time, it was not generated when it was not in view, if that makes sense. So it doesn't generate like 1,000 thumbnails and just reveals it when we zoom, but it generates it on the fly as we zoom, probably also caching it, but the thumbnail width doesn't change, it stays fixed, and also it just needs to append because of it, because we're kind of like zooming means kind of like increasing the width to the right of the strip, and the container basically grows to the right and reveals more thumbnails behind it that were clipped, if that makes sense. Period. Could we create a new thumbnail approach markdown file outlining in great detail how we can implement that? Question mark. If you have any clarifying questions regarding my described feature, please ask and fill in any gaps. I'll draft a new feature markdown that models the Final Cut style behavior. Fixed thumbnail cell width, timeline growth to the right with progressive reveal, and on-demand generation with caching. I'll place it under Docs features and make it implementation ready with architecture boundaries, data flow, and test plan. Right. Let's see if that will. View request only missing indices invisible prefetch range. Service returns a sparse dictionary for requested slots. View merges into state dictionary keyed by slot index. Okay. Keep decode work of main actor. Yeah, main actor only for merging. Yeah, ignore stale responses. Okay, when you say fixed width, thumbnail container should width be fixed in screen pixels regardless of zoom, or fixed in timeline content space so it appears to scale with zoom. Number 1, this. Number 2, should new thumbnails be revealed strictly left to right, append at right, or based on current viewport? Reveal where user is looking. Strictly left to right. Number 3, do you want existing visible thumbnails to remain pixel identical across zoom changes whenever possible, even if that means slightly temporal non-uniformity? Yes, for now. For now. Because seems like it works for Final Cut. Unless I'm missing something. For long videos, do you want a hard cap on total slot count in memory at once, for example, around viewport, or is in-memory session cache acceptable initially? No hard cap on total slot count. Prefetch behavior none, small margin recommended, or aggressive prefetch for smoother fast scroll. Small margin. During fast zoom scroll, should we prioritize responsiveness or over completeness? Show placeholders and fill later, or block slightly to reduce placeholder flashes. Responsiveness over completeness. Definitely. Let's do that. I will update the new feature doc with these explicit decisions to implementation can proceed. Okay. I hit a patch context mismatch, so I'm reading the doc and applying the decision updates. Okay. Perfect. Okay. I added, updated. Okay. I think we can delete the other old Markdown doc. No? Let's see if it disappears over there. There we go. Deleting it via patch. Not sure, but sure. Nice. All right. How ready do you think our latest documentation about our feature is? Question mark. So we want to implement a new feature outlined here that will introduce a better thumbnail creation and caching system, similar to how, Final Cut does it. So just revealing it to the right. Yeah. Okay, that's what we're going to do. All right. A few concrete constraints: initial slot width pixel, prefetch margin slots, concurrency limit. Elaborate. 2. One exact formula for total frame slot with clamp counts. Elaborate. 3. A short rollback fallback plan if virtualization introduces regression. I think you will remember the changes you are making, so you should easily be able to roll back those without a fallback plan and without using Git whatsoever. Alrighty, let's see here. It smells so good, and it starts later. No, 565 actually. 565. Whoops, what did I do? Maybe a little bit earlier actually. 50. This can be a little bit later. This one was not sad at all. Save. Let's see, are we done? Concrete constants. These should live in an... Okay, so concrete constant slot width of each thumbnail cell and screen picture. Start with 72, good readability, not too dense. Prefetch margin, how many slots outside viewport? Okay, decode concurrency limit, max parallel frame decode. Start with decode concurrency limit 3 to keep UI responsive. Sounds good. Keep in mind UI responsiveness has highest priority. Request debounce milliseconds optional, avoid thrash during the very fast scroll. Zoom updates start with sounds good. Exact total frame slots formula. Stable and testable inputs. Alright, formula zoomed content with whatever that is. Recommended bounds. Min slots 10, max slots 2000, or no cap if you truly want none, but still good to keep a safety ceiling. Okay, what about I don't know. What about a cap of 100 for now. We can do that. This gives deterministic slot identity. Because right now we have like 30, right? When we zoom in, it's 30. We can reach 100 really quickly, because that would be like just 3. Okay, let's do 300 maybe. That would be like 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 would fit into one of these right now. How about 500? Let's do that, just to be safe. On rollback without Git, yes, we can menu. I still recommend documenting a tiny rollback checklist. Sure. Let's do that. Where are we now? Where were we? Here. Uh, 50. Hey. Let me rerun. Okay. If you want, next step is to start implementing. Okay, go. What do you mean by phase 1? How many phases do we have? Let's see here. Here, somewhere here. Uh, 10? 10, 75. 10, 75. Actually, yeah. Let's copy that over. Did you change from here to phase 1 window rendering, phase 2 sparse service API, add service method that fetches only requested slot indices, not full strips. Phase 3 remove tier strip assumptions, remove leftover full strip per count logic, and fully rely on window because it gives the biggest architecture shift with. Okay, cool. Let's do it phase by phase then. Let's start. While you're working there, I'm working on the video. $14.44. This one can move up a little bit. $15.20, so that means we have a lot of room there. 15, 10. $19.66. And then 1980, something like that. $21.45. Implementing phase 1 now. Sure, do it. Wait, are you done now? I don't see processing here. Command. Interesting. Yeah. I am serious. $32, $23.82, $23.82. It should be 24 then. This one can go. But can taste bad because no. Hey. Butter is what is that? This one? We don't need that one. Are we done? Are we done? Phase 1 is now implemented. Okay, let's see. Let's see about that. Fixed thumbnail slots. There we go. Look at them revealing on the right. Hey. There is a bug in scrolling now, comma, where I cannot scroll all the way to the right. The video strip is beyond the view and we cannot scroll there for some reason, comma. This was working before. I'm not sure what you changed to break it when all we did was touching the thumbnail container logic. I mean, I like the fixed size thumbnails for sure. So much better. You know, as you zoom, it reveals the thumbnails. Strip slot count was computed with seal, which can make rendered strip width exceed scroll document width. Plus, min slot width wasn't guaranteed in the app-kit scroll host. I'm fixing both floor slot and enforcing minimum content width and scrolling hosting. Is this still going to work with all the other logic that calculates the marker placement, comma hovering marker, comma subtitle, segment placement, etc. question mark? Because slot count now uses floor, there can be a small trailing gap where no thumbnail cell exists at the far right. Play ahead, hover subtitle can still move through that area correctly, but you may see empty track background there. So logic is still consistent, but there can be a minor visual tail gap edge case. If you want, I can harden that next so strip coverage and marker space align perfectly. Let's see what you're talking about. Let's see what you are talking about. Yeah, the gap at the end makes no sense. Why wouldn't we show a thumbnail there even if the thumbnail is clipped, if you know what I mean? Yeah, it kind of adds, but just so we are on the same page, comma. We saw a small gap because we're appending thumbnail containers only if they fit into the width, period, which completely goes against the user experience of appearing that we are revealing thumbnails, period. To achieve the effect of revealing thumbnails, we should be appending at the very least one, if not actually two or three, beyond what is visible, period, so that zooming never shows the even if they are clipped, comma, this will make it look like they have always been there when we zoom, giving a superior user experience, period. Not sure why you didn't do that in the first place when we talked about it from the beginning. Let's see. Let's see if it's better now. Hey yo, why? You're right, and your X reasoning is correct. Optimize first. Next time I'm applying it on a timeline view All right. Let's see, the reveal buffer behavior is now in, but I cannot scroll there. So it's beyond. I mean, I like the way how thumbnails are like coming in, and if we zoom out and in again, they should be fast because they're cached. Only the ones that we haven't cached yet are being generated. There we go. But I should be able to zoom there or like scroll there, and I can't. So let's see here. You're absolutely right. Okay, let's rerun because it made some changes. Just so we know, comma, for some reason, now that we've fixed the thumbnail behavior, which looks great, comma, the video strip, god damn it. Okay, let's try. Ah, yeah, there we go. Okay, then I don't have to mention it. Now it works as expected. Look, it's hopefully revealing. Yeah, it has this, I mean, I cannot see it because if we zoom out most. Hey, I cannot zoom out more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And if we very slightly zoom, just ever so slightly, it zooms center, right? No, I don't want that. Okay, this works much better. This works much better now. Period. Any cleanup opportunities right now? Question mark. Architecture simplification opportunities? Question mark. Separation of concerns opportunities? Question mark. Let's see. It might find something for the sake of finding. Let's see. Yes, a few high value ones. Remove obsolete tier helpers in tests. Move thumbnail loading state out of editor timeline view. Frames by slot. Okay. Small. Okay. Introduce sparse fetch API in service phase 2. Current view still asks make frame strip, which computes all frames up to count. Add slot indices fetch, so we only decode missing visible fetch slots because architecture will win next. Host from thumbnail policy constant. Okay. Cool. Do all 5. Let's do git checkout. Feature new thumbnail approach. Git status. New thumbnail approach. So I'm not losing it, but I'm also not committing it into main yet because we're still working on it. I don't want to mess up my main. Hey. No, thank you, sunshine. I don't need you. Let's see. Let's see. Processing. I like this much better. This gives a better idea, even though this one shows a car already when we're not in a car yet. How interesting, it's completely off. Maybe we should reduce the width of the thumbnails then. Because why is this one showing Because it makes sense there, right? No, doesn't make sense. I grabbed her here. That scene is long over. Why are we showing that one there? It's kind of like this one. It's like offset. It shows like the middle of it. Why is it the middle frame? Should be the beginning frame. Okay, we can do that. We can ask it to improve. Because it's definitely not the beginning at there. And that spot doesn't really change, does it? I guess it changed a little bit. But if we zoom in entirely, how long does it take for you? Not so long to generate it. Not too bad. But yeah, it's not too far off either, because that one just happened here. And then we're just like 2-3 thumbnails off-ish. Okay, cool. We're optimizing code. I like that. Let's see. Strawberry. And oh, I thought I actually got rid of that. Removing obsolete helper files. Thank you, thank you. That sounds good. Let's see. Doing all the confirming cleanup and code references. Is it done? Code cleanup refactor is complete. Okay. Confirming, summarizing. Okay, then if it's summarizing, I can already run it. I don't need to wait for its text output. Let me run it and see. So what was the issue that we had? We couldn't scroll all the way. Now we can. Oh yeah, we could do that before. Interesting. I can take out this. $49, $59, $49. Let's do 50, or yeah. $54.72. 54. Let's do 80. Okay, let's save the project. Let's see here. Centralized timeline constant policy. Zoom bounds and whatever. Yeah. Let's zoom out. Let's see here. This one is not it. We're way ahead. The further out we go, the more ahead we are, or what? See, that thing is over there. Now this is, what the heck? Maybe the thumbnails are too wide, because that's later. Why is it? Why is it like that? This is so late too. Why is it so late? Quick questions, comma. Why are the frames that we show as thumbnails not the beginning frame of the section the thumbnail is located at, if that makes sense? Question mark, answer in chat. Because we sample each thumbnail at the center of its slot, not at the slot start, in the service times component that was chosen to represent each interval more fairly and avoid edge bias, but it means the image is not. Do you think if you evaluate that right now, we have a less or lower edge bias with the center seconds versus start seconds after we have changed so much? Question mark. Reevaluate thoroughly and come back with the best possible solution you can ever in your life think of. Comma, answer in chat. Let's see here. Great question. After reevaluating with the current architecture, fixed slot width, left to right reveals, use start of slot sampling as the primary policy. Why this is best now. Your axis, this thumbnail belongs to this section start sampling matches that exactly. With fixed width slot, center sampling creates a consistent half slot temporal lag. At low zoom, that lag is large and noticeable. Left, right. Yeah. All right. What center sampling was good at, better representative average of each interval, but your product goals right now, that trade-off is not worth the mismatch. Best practical starts sample start time for each slot, keep end clamp in whatever, keep last slot special clamp so we still show near final frame. Keep a configurable sample anchor ratio in policy. For future tuning, default 00. So switch to start of slot. Okay, go ahead and do that, comma, after you are done, update our document so that it only represents leftover actionable items, if any. All right, let's fix that. We're spending way too much time on this thumbnail thing when it's just UI. When I think subtitle stuff up here would be more impactful. Hey, watching. It's Valentine's Day and I thought of watching Twilight last night. 41, 42. Garlic butter is yum. Yum ends at 42. Actually 43 even. Okay. 42.80, and then this would be 42. Whoopsie, 43. And then what? Is Valentine's Day. $44.80 or $44.90. Well, yeah, 90. Could be a little bit longer, 50 maybe. $49. Hey. Let's rerun. Let's see. Switch thumbnail sampling to start of slot. Let's see how much more accurate that is. Should be much more accurate, I think. Because we're making it longer and then we start. Unless I'm missing something. But yeah, this is the first one. This one doesn't really show. Wait. See, this is like that. That's not accurate. It's not accurate. Thumbnail are not accurate. The second thumbnail shows a frame that is happening within the width of the first thumbnail, if that makes sense. Answer in chat your thoughts. God damn. Let's see here. Yes, that makes sense, and I think I see the bug source. Right now, we preserve previously generated slot images while total frame slots. Changes as zoom changes, but sampling. I am not sure this. Are you sure this is the bug? Question mark. Because I am at the initial zoom level 1x, so to say. Period. I did not change the zoom level whatsoever, period. I just started the app and am at the beginning zoom level of 1x, comma, and the thumbnails are just off, period. Answer in chat. Yo, let's see. 1090, 1080. Uh, 12, 22. You're correct. This is a real bug. Not only after zooming. Hey, root cause. Goddamn. A lot of the Swift guideline references. I didn't say that. Okay. Visible rendering timeline semantics, one stable visible time grid, buffering, prefetch, separate mechanism that does not change visible cells timestamps. If you want, I'll implement that now so 1x is accurate first, and then keep. Okay, sure. I'm patching the view service contract now, so buffered slots no longer define timestamp samplings. Buffered slots. So we invalidate stale thumbnails when the sampling grid changes. I'm not sure what that all means, but maybe it will help. Separate mechanism that does not change visible. Next step, okay, let's save it and rerun. Let's see if that's more accurate. Maybe somewhat. It's kind of behind a little bit. Interesting. I feel like, what is this? This one doesn't need to have this rounded corner there. Not sure why we have that. The thumbnail spacing in between is should no longer show a frame from the thumbnail. It does though, right? I think it does, or I cannot tell. It could be that guy. Ish. This one. It doesn't, but I think this one does. I think the thumbnails are still slightly off, comma. We must be doing something wrong somewhere, comma, because the third thumbnail shows a frame from the end of the second thumbnails interval, if that makes sense, period. Can you double and triple check? How that can be at 1x zoom level, question mark. I understand if any kind of math is not mapping out properly when we zoom in, even though I hope it does work out properly, comma, but at least at 1x, I would assume it is 100% accurate because we just know from the get-go the width of each thumbnail, the length of the video, and the timeline and just everything. Right? Question mark. So that is extremely strange. In addition to that, I believe you just increased the separator width of each thumbnail unasked? Question mark. I think it should just be 1 pixel at max, if anything at all, period. Make sure after you make your updates that all math, comma, width, comma, alignments make still sense, as well as all numbers in calculations and whatnot after making changes, especially to a width of a gap between thumbnails and stuff like that. You know what I mean? My man. Right, let's zoom in here. It's nice that this one is there. This one is laughing, right? See, it's not here. It's definitely, yeah, from here. But this one, I guess a little bit off is fine. Why are we re-rendering everything? We are re-rendering everything. Interesting. Not a fan of that. You were right to call this out. Double checked 1x specifically, and there were 2 concrete issues. Was allowed to return nearby keyframes, which can shift a slot's frame into the pair. Okay. I patched both. Did you now? Can you tell me why we are re-rendering all frames when we zoom, question mark, when this completely defeats the magical experience of revealing new thumbnails to the right as we zoom, preserving all original thumbnails as is, question mark. Are you doing that because we are otherwise not matching thumbnails with the time spot in the video anymore? Question mark. Answer in chat only. Let's see. All right. I don't know. Let's see this one. Still, maybe it's the first frame. This one, it's definitely not the first frame. I don't know what you're doing. This is from here. How are you incapable of calculating that width properly? God damn it. And then here, it shows like we're long gone there. It's like we're currently re-rendering because I switched to an accuracy first model. Going back to our thumbnail bug for 1x zoom level, basically 0 zoom, period. It's still there and it's very, very obvious. Comma, the thumbnails are lagging behind the video tremendously. Period. So when I am on the 4th thumbnail, it shows a frame that has happened almost 2 intervals ago. How's that even possible? I'm about to throw out this whole thumbnail generation kind of stuff. It makes sense because you cannot keep that thumbnail, and then if we add, then that one is basically the end of the video already. So I suppose that makes sense. Use actual time and compensate, retry, forward, or switch. It's possible for 2 reasons and both can stack. It's not guaranteed to return the exact requested frame. In compressed media, it can return the nearest decodable frame, often earlier as truth, and ignore the generator's returned actual time so that decode drift shows up. So even at 1x, math can be right while extracting frames are still behind. The clean fix is use actual time and compensate, retry forward, or switch its extraction strategy and keep scaling at 1 pixel. Already changed. So visual bucket, is that the real bug, or are you guessing now? Sounds like guesswork and not really. I know for sure the root cause. We're doing X, Y, Z a little wrong. Yeah, doesn't sound like you know what you are talking about. I can't claim proven root cause yet from that statement alone. What I know for sure from code, we request a timestamp per slot and generate CGI image asynchronously. Apple returns both requested and actual decode time. We currently ignore actual completely. This is objectively true and it can absolutely produce the lag pattern. Do you think Apple would return a frame, an image? Let's see here. Where are we? We're going to here. So then it's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 5 seconds behind our requested image. Sounds incredibly unlikely. No. Yeah, so frame I see for thumbnail is 5 seconds behind when it actually happened. And since we're showing, we're supposed to show first frame of thumbnail interval, you now understand how grossly offset the thumbnail is at times. Like, what the heck? Like, what the heck? Alrighty. Yeah, the heck are you doing here? But that's interesting, right? Because if I do, let's see how that works here. If I do this guy, it's the last one. If I do more, this guy, I think, is updated then. Let's do this instead. So, do I see? Yeah, it is updating every thumbnail. Okay. But don't show black. Yeah, it's changing it. I suppose that's normal then, but that's pretty fast, super fast. All right. Sure. What I change? Enforce extraction policy so thumbnail can never use a frame from after it's requested. I don't know. Alright, bumped thumbnail cache key version so old cache frames from the previous policy are ignored immediately. Why this matters, your exact compliant was frame appears. Okay, this policy makes that impossible by contract. No future frame selection for a slot. I don't know what that means, but let's see. We're doing this. Let's see, this one. We're afterwards already again. Are we oh boy, how's the cache working? Frame cache and a string frame cache. How are you doing this? Key is what? URL. Is it possible that we're loading cache from previous instances of the app into thumbnails and it shows wrong thumbnails? Or is cache cleared upon each start? This looks like, this is in-memory cache. So then I just tested your supposed fix. It fixes nothing. This one happened, like we are here, that's like 433, even 444, 434. And then the next frame, the thumbnail 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 9th thumbnail shows a frame that has happened 9 seconds ago. Like the heck? Like what? Like what the heck? This is useless. What are you doing? Math proof, we sampled by slot index, visible slot count, but marker seek mapping uses X. Those are not equivalent. What do you mean not? Unless track width is an exact multiple of slot span, which it usually isn't. One long video, that mismatch, whatever you're saying. Okay, we can still try. Whatever you are saying, we will try. You think you fixed it now. You said it he said that multiple times now. Let's see if that fixes it. Let's see if that statement is still true. 9 seconds is unusable. So we got, that looks better. This looks, yeah, now we're talking. Beautiful. Yeah, now we're talking. This is exactly, there we go. Whatever you did before, no good. No good. Now we're at the beginning of the frame. That's how it works. Amazing. Well, almost, but you know, good enough. How about at the end here? So accurate. If we zoom in even more, at some point I want to see the water. There we go. Ah, great. Now it seems to be perfectly accurate. Whatever you changed or found out seems to have been the culprit. Good job, my man. Please do a thorough cleanup, and if you deem necessary, comma, a section in the README markdown file explaining what we struggled with and how we fixed it and what to look out for, because clearly you thought 5 times previously to have fixed it when you haven't. So it seemed like it was pretty challenging for you to figure out. Okay, nice. This looks nice. I wonder if we zoom. Yeah, when we zoom. If I zoom quickly enough, these first, they should not disappear. I want to change that. Can we do one optimization, question mark? When I zoom in, comma, can we not remove the previous thumbnails and show a background of the container, question mark, like it is right now, question mark? I think it would be a better user experience if we are replacing the previous thumbnails only when we are ready with new thumbnails that should belong into those containers, comma, if that makes sense, comma, what do you think, question mark, ask questions to clarify what I am talking about in case it's not clear, period, answer in chat. All right, he did some cleanup. Let's see how that works. So yeah, it just disappears the moment I zoom. That's not nice. If I keep zooming, is it done? It's gonna be done. Yeah, see, some of it even just stays ever so slightly. Yes, that makes sense, and it's good UX improvement. Right now we clear early, so you see placeholder background flashes while new frames load. Better approach, keep old thumbnail visible, start loading new thumbnails in parallel. Swap to the, yeah, this avoids. Do you want swap only when 100% of currently visible new slots are ready, or do you want swap only when 100% of currently visible new slots are ready? Or why not swap an old thumbnail with the new one the moment the new one is ready? Like, what are you talking about, question mark? We are waiting for like 80% of all new thumbnails to be done? Like out of 10 we wait for 8, question mark, even though we could have already replaced the first 1 or 2 that were ready, question mark? Like that. Number 2, should buffered off-screen slots be allowed to keep loading after swap, or block swap until they also finish? Block swap, not sure if still relevant after number 1. 3, do you want a quick crossfade, for example, on swap or instant replace? Instant replace. Crossfade. Let's do crossfade. Let's see. That could be nice. It could look nice. Yeah. Sounds good. Do it. Sounds good. I like this little marker there. When does this one end? 42, 53, 42. So this could be 50 then. And this one, I don't know, 20 shorter. This doesn't have to end. 53, 10, 20. $50. Maybe 50. Eight even. Nah. 7. Whoopsie. And then we can remove that, okay. Funny. What changed? Let's rerun, let's see. What did we optimize? It's the beginning of the frame. Yeah, very much. Nice. And then if we zoom in, that's the thing that we changed. When we zoom in, I don't need the crossfade. Actually, no crossfade. KK, sounds good. Let's do that. Is unavailable in this environment. Xcode select points to command line tools. Not sure what that means, but okay. We did a cool. Interesting how it's from left to right. Any way to optimize frame rendering, like in parallel stuff, async, off thread, etc. while never blocking UI. Let's see. Batch frame extraction instead of per slot sequential waits. Generate asynchronously 4 times with all missing times in one request. This is usually much faster and still fully off main thread. Keep UI updates on main, extraction of main. Yeah, do all decode cache work in background task service later touch published only on main actor. Coalesce zoom driven request. Add a tiny debounce so rapid pinch events don't spawn many near duplicate extraction jobs. Aggressive cancellation of stale jobs. If sampling identity changes, cancel old in-flight extraction immediately and discard callbacks for stale task IDs. Cache policy tuning. Keep NS cache but set count limit, total cost limit to avoid churn. Cache key should include sampling geometry policy version, already aligned with what we did. Prioritize visible slots first, request visible slots first, then buffer slots. Perceived performance improves a lot. If you want, I can implement this in that order. Sounds good. Do it all. All right, now we're improving the performance of rendering the frames, because if I do this, look at this. Why is it taking so long? There we go. And then also from left to right. And if we go from here, actually it's cached, so now it's fast. So this is fine. If I go fast, yeah, still from left to right. I wonder if there's some parallel work we can do. But that's already good. That's optimized. And then one of the next things, definitely after that we're done, after we're done with the timeline, I want to be able to move the subtitles. Otherwise, I have to click and change the time manually the entire time, matching it wherever we are here. If it's just offset a little bit, I want to be able to move it just a little bit and also change the width. That would be good. I'm now adding request coalescing, visible first batching in the view, and replacing service extraction with parallelized batch generation plus cache limits. This keeps UI fully non-blocking and cuts wasted work during fast zoom changes. Okay, let's see if cache limits are even needed. This app currently takes up, I think, 150 megabytes of memory. What is it? Xcode? Where's Wonder? Wonder. Oh, it's not. No, it is running. Wonder captions. I don't see it. Oh, here we go. 170. 170. It's interesting. And then here, barely anything right now. Okay, but if we zoom, if it's working, it's getting a spike of 60%. Just really quick. I caught a real patch defect in the new batch callback block brace placement. I'm fixing the generate image batch now before anything else, so we don't ship broken concurrency code. Okay, cool. Thank you for catching it yourself. Confirming unchanged view model. Let me see. We did a lot of changes here. Yeah, that's a lot. And we just worked in the thumbnail section. So let's see. Now, if I do this, is it faster? Maybe. Okay, let's see. Question, are we rendering frames for containers that are out of view? Question mark. Because if I zoom in, to the maximum zoom in level, comma, I believe we have quite a good amount of frames. And I'm not sure rendering all of them, especially if 60% or even 70% of them are off screen, would make sense, question mark. Wouldn't it make sense to start rendering them when we scroll in, question mark? Perhaps rendering like the first 5 or 10 at most that are outside of the view is fine for a smooth scrolling experience of sorts. But rendering all, wouldn't that be computational heavy for no reasons? Question mark. Once they are rendered, I understand we are caching them, so then it's fine. Just wondering about the current approach. Period, answer in chat. Because look, if I zoom in so much, damn, that's like, we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost 20. Let's say 20 frames here. Oh, why is it changing if I do this? Does that make sense at all? Is the width changing? No. The width is staying the same, huh? Oh, the width of the... Why is the subtitle width changing? Why is resizing affecting it at all? See, like the timeline makes sense, but the thumbnail... What are you gonna do? It says, wait. Okay, and then if we go here, still the same. So that's good. Oh, I see. So it's moving. I see. Okay, yeah. No, that makes sense. No, wait, but does it make sense? Why isn't it staying there? No, it doesn't make sense. If I check out Final Cut, I'm sure Final Cut is not doing that. So here, if I do this and I add text, I don't know, of some sort. Yeah, and that one is here. And I just make this smaller. Yeah, it just stays there. The length stays the same. All right, great question. Right now, yes, we still over-render current behavior. So your intuition is correct. Important nuance. Our current visible first is based on slot index range from the strip start, not true scroll position. So it's better than before, but not yet truly viewport aware. If you want, next step is to wire scroll offset into only if you can do it in a very clean manner, separation of concern, no workaround or hack to achieve it. Good Swift UI. What would you say is good Swift UI code, etc. Answer in chat. Whatever. Oh man, what is our current? 28%. Okay, we're getting there. We have 24 more hours. Absolutely, and only worth doing if we keep it clean. Clean architecture approach. View owns viewport signals only current scroll acts. Okay, pure helper compute slot window start end. View model owns. Okay, that gives true viewport aware rendering. Bounded work at max. Alrighty, let's do it this way then. And then I want to know why the heck are the thumbnails moving? Like, what is that? That's how the width is moving too. So interesting. Such an interesting behavior. Not what I want. Hmm?
Thank you.
Ukashi. Count limit 800. Interesting. Total cost limit. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see here. Test at max zoom and scroll far right. Thumbnails should load around viewport only with smooth reveal from cache as you scroll. Let's see if that works. Also, we got a bunch of warnings here, no? Add pre-concurrency suppress. Interesting. No warnings. Right. So, if we go here, only when we are moving it into the viewport A. So the one on the left as well as the one on the right. Zooming, then scrolling all the way right shows me containers that never render a thumbnail. Perhaps we're hitting our limit in cache. Let's go here. This works very poorly. I even got 2 containers in the middle of the screen that never render a thumbnail. Perhaps never kicked off because I scrolled so fast passed by them, and when I scrolled back to them, they never rendered the thumbnail. Not sure if that's the root cause, but it works very poorly at times. At times zooming then scrolling all the way right shows me content and never render a thumbnail. Either perhaps we're hitting our cache limits now. It worked better before, but let's see what it thinks. Zooming out. It worked much better before. Now I also always see a gap at the end of the timeline instead of probably because the gap is smaller than the width of a thumbnail, which is the worst UX I have ever seen, since I specifically said we're I guess the video's over. I see. Actually, let's do this. What is the real bug? Cancelled old task could have slot NDC stuck and pending. I see. On every new request, task ID pending state is reset to avoid still cancelled. Alright. Are we overcomplicating things? Let's go very far, very fast. It works now. Yeah, kind of works nicely. I don't know about these, the middle part here. This just rendered as well. Okay, if we zoom in all the way, right, then we got the end of the strip. Okay, one small optimization. The timeline tracks are kind of glued to the width of the window. I don't think the video timeline is kind of, that should be the case, because that doesn't allow me to because when I resize the window frames, whatever, the width is kind of changing. Or answer in chat. I wanted to confirm. Okay, let's do this. Right now, total frame size is derived from the current content width. We're not changing the slot, and that's why timeline behavior shifts when we're not. If you want it stable, we should decouple timeline with sampling width from live window width and keep a fixed baseline. Yes. Yes, please. That's exactly what I want. Hey. Like this. Let's check again. That would be awesome if we can decouple. Decouple would be amazing. We're getting there. Nice, this looks good. Now, so much better. Yes, it's exactly what I want. So that's so stable now. Perfect, nice. $35. Okay. Okay. This works amazing now. Awesome. Okay, let me see about the thumbnail positioning. Great. So much better. For sure. Hey, what happened here now? Wait, this one earlier was correct in here. So it was correct there, but it's off here. That one is wrong. basically you also got that one is here, and then at 8. Mm. 8870. We can do this. Okay, what about 477? Eight three A. Eight five. $803. Why doesn't it work? There we go. $802. $804. And then it ends at 8330. It starts at 802 already. Maybe 25. Actually, this doesn't need one. Let's do 90. And then ends at 2. $795, 59.50, 759. 50 says until 8-1. Also cut that one. Like this. This one starts at 90. Let's start this one and this one at 85. A. It ends earlier actually, so 75, 74, fine. $80. We can save that. Oh, it already auto-saved? Okay, nice. Okay. Okay. Fixed some subtitling placements, but how does the end look like? Yeah, this still matches. Okay. All right. I think we can push this. Improved thumbnail generation. Timeline is now decoupled from window width. Just all that. Hey, good push. Origin. Let's delete that one too, remote. Hey, good. Like that. Sure. Is that not the one? Unable to delete, remote rest does not exist. Oh. Is it already deleted? Maybe it's gotta be without the original remote. Like that? There we go. Okay. My bad. That's much cleaner now. This works amazing now. I tested everything, committed, and pushed the code. Good work. Period. Any opportunity you see to clean up or re-architect for a more cleaner approach, comma, separation of concerns, comma, following Swift coding guidelines in our skills, comma, pure functions, etc. Question mark. All right, we installed brew, and then now interesting. I thought I installed brew right now. All right, let's see here. Yes, the core behavior is solid now, but there are still cleanups worth doing. Extracted timeline viewport model, pure value type. Inputs, scroll X, viewport width. Slot span, total slots, outputs. Okay. That sounds great. Sounds great. Number 2, move request orchestration out of editor timeline view. Load frames. Sounds good. Strengthen editor timeline thumbnail view model API contracts. Replace raw array sets with intent methods. Begin with a begin window request, mark loaded slots image, cancel request. Okay, make sure to not make any mistakes. Add a small eviction strategy in VM. Keep loaded images near viewport and evict faraway slots from frames by slot index. cache still keeps reuse, but VM memory and diffing overhead stay bounded. Is that error prone, fragile? Sounds complex. Add focus tests for failure path. Perhaps no. Otherwise, let's skip. Tests. Tests. Always good. Add focus tests for failure path. Failure path. Sure. OpenClaw is a hobby project and still in beta. Expect sharp edges. By default, OpenClaw's personal agent, no one trusted operator boundary. Run actions if tools are enabled. A bad prompt can trick it into doing unsafe things. Users can message one tool enabled agent. They share the delegated tool authority. Onboarding mode. Configure details later via OpenClaw. Yes, sure. Model OpenAI codecs. Yeah. Are you okay?
What time is it?
8 p.m.
Huh?
6:30 p.m.
I have my phone.
Yes. Ha! Here you go. Okay. I think this is a good point. This is a good place to end the stream. I'll just see how I can set up OpenClaw on my Mac Mini, and yeah, the progress for the Wonder Captions video editing app I think is good, even though only UI based. I would say I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for hanging out and lurking, and I hope you have an awesome evening, and I see you next time.